Yo, what's going on, guys? And today I just want to talk about real quickly. The Lakers have Brook Lopez and Jonas Valanciunas on their radars as potential trade targets. So before we start today's video, I want to hear your thoughts down below. Primarily, they want to do this as they need some front court help, as they would like to have Anthony Davis next to a true center, and also just some help on the defensive side. Let me hear your thoughts. Who do you think they're going to go after? We've heard Jonas Valanciunas for a while now as the guy that they would preferably go after. Brook Lopez is one who's been circulated recently. Again, some of this report is from Jake Fisher, Bleacher Reports. Take it with a grain of salt. But the Lakers' recent 5-4 start has led the front office to evaluate trade options that could reinforce their roster, especially their struggling defense, which currently ranks 24th in the league. And it seems that D'Angelo Russell and Jalen Hood-Schifino are the more than likely trade chips that they would use. And according to Jake Fisher of Bleacher Report, the Lakers are reportedly eyeing two high-profile big men, Milwaukee's Brook Lopez and Washington Wizards' Jonas Valanciunas. Jonas Valanciunas signed the full mid-level exception this offseason, which was like 3 years, $30 million. And Brook Lopez is struggling this year. Jonas is having a solid season so far this season. If you guys wanted to know Jonas Valanciunas, his stats for the Washington Wizards, which are a team in the midst of a rebuild. He is through 7 games playing about 21 minutes a night, 13 points, about just under 8 rebounds, 3 assists on 58% from the field, almost 33% from 3, while Brook Lopez, who's been one of the best defensive bigs in the past few seasons and had been a really good three-point shooter, he's struggling this year, just shooting below 40% from the field and 26% from 3, 9 points, 5 rebounds, 1.5 assists, about a steal and 2 blocks a night. But the past few seasons, he has been like a 37% three-point shooter, closer to 50% from the field, and averaging about 13, 14 points a night and over 2 blocks a game. As you look, adding either of these players would hopefully address, some of their interior defensive issues and enhance their front court strength, which is something that the Lakers hope to solidify to help their position in the competitive Western Conference. D'Angelo Russell and second-year player Jalen Hood-Schifino are seen as the most likely assets to be included in a potential trade package. D'Angelo Russell is one of the starting guards, or kind of seems like he's in and out. So basically, if you look at the current structure of how the Lakers have been playing basketball, I think Austin Reeves is one of their main guys. I know the previous game against the 76ers, Cam Reddish was out there, and he really helped their defense. They started Cam Reddish, and D'Angelo Russell came off the bench. So it seems that could be what they could be moving forward, as their defensive impact was a lot better with Reddish out there, regardless of his inconsistencies on offense, as Russell, who has struggled with consistency this season, particularly with his shooting and defensive impact. Despite his scoring abilities and playmaking, his lack of defensive versatility has left gaps in the Lakers backcourt that JJ Redick has gotten mad because opponents have continuously exploited that, and that's been a problem with him since they brought him. And moving D'Angelo Russell could provide the Lakers with the salary flexibility required to bring in a valuable front court presence like Lopez or Valanciunas, as both of those players make less money than D'Angelo Russell. And Jalen Hood-Schifino, on the other hand, his option was declined, so he's an unrestricted free agent this offseason. He represents a promising but inexperienced asset that, as when he was a rookie, his development wasn't aligned with the Lakers win now mentality. So he could be somebody that a team might want to bring in and do similar to like how Jalen Smith was when the Suns moved on from him. He got picked up by the Pacers, and then the Pacers re-signed him in free agency to a 3-year deal. So outside of D'Angelo Russell and Jalen Hood-Schifino, the Lakers would likely they might have to offer different players to facilitate a trade if those aren't the guys they want, or if they need to find more money. And we know they're unwilling to part with Austin Reeves, Anthony Davis, and LeBron James. So the reluctance makes sense given the pivotal roles these players play on both ends. LeBron's obviously cornerstone, as well as Davis, and then Reeves has emerged as the two-way player whose shooting, passing, and perimeter defense is valuable. So when you look at this, Brook Lopez, who's currently with the Milwaukee Bucks, could bring much-needed rim protection and floor spacing to the Lakers. Lopez is a shot blocker and a reliable three-point shooter, except this year hasn't been that great. But Lopez would offer the Lakers a modern stretch center option that would complement Anthony Davis, and his presence would allow Anthony Davis to shift to his preferred power forward role, reducing his wear and tear from playing centers and increase the team's defensive flexibility. Lopez's three-point shot would also create more room for LeBron James and Austin Reeves to drive to the basket, allowing the Lakers to have a better offensive flow. Jonas Valanciunas, meanwhile, would provide a different kind of value. Known for his more traditional center skills, Valanciunas is a strong rebounder, good passer out the elbow, and an efficient scorer around the basket. While he can stretch the floor, maybe not as well as Lopez, his physicality and inside presence would give them a new dimension in the Lakers' front court. With Valanciunas in the mix, Davis would also have the flexibility to play more as a help defender, focusing on shot blocking and weak side rotations rather than solely guarding the opposing centers. This would allow the Lakers to free up their defense, helping them to control the boards and limit second chance opportunities for their opponents. And the Lakers' current statistics reflect the need for this upgrade. Although they rank 10th in points per game, 115.9, and 8th in pace, their defensive rating, 117.5, indicates a severe need for interior reinforcement. By adding a player like Lopez or Valanciunas, the Lakers could drastically reduce their opponent's points per game, currently at 118 points per game allowed, giving them a more balanced and sustainable path to playoff contention. In addition to bolstering their defense, these potential trades could help the Lakers improve their overall net rating, which is currently a negative 2.5, and climb up the Western Conference standings. As the Lakers' front office is clearly motivated to make moves to close their gap between their current performance and their high aspirations, I think overall by trading D'Angelo Russell and packaging with a player like Hood-Schifino, which will allow you to keep your key players, the Lakers then would be able to add a defensive anchor and establish a more stronger and balanced lineup. I think either Lopez or Valanciunas offers a set of skills that would help directly address the Lakers' weaknesses and help possession them for a better run this season. That's basically my thoughts. I want to hear your thoughts in general, what you guys think, and what would you do if you're a Los Angeles Lakers fan? I think at this point it just comes down to like how would you look at it from a monetary standpoint and why. But yeah, I think when you look at the team currently, I think their offense is good enough. It's about the defense. And I think there's moves there to get that done. Jonas Valanciunas is a multi-year deal, but he's super cheap, so that one's not really that bad. Brook Lopez isn't expiring, so if you want the cap flexibility, you go with Brook Lopez. If you want somebody under the roster control for several seasons, you go after Jonas Valanciunas. But besides that, yeah, I think it's just more than apparent that, hey, let's go ahead and let's try to go and but let's use this. I think D'Angelo Russell is someone we can move off of, and I think Dalton Connect and Gabe Vincent and Max Christie can fill the scoring role if you're going to keep Cam Reddish in the starting lineup. That D'Angelo Russell, because I know the concern would be, who's going to be the sixth man? And I also think there's free agent options that you could consider. So I don't think that's the end of the world. That's it. Bye.